Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Welcome to the Big Meow podcast brought to you by C.A.T.S Network. I'm your host, Angela Howard. And today we have Melissa Kirkpatrick, a good Irish name, Erin Gobrach. Bet you had fun last Friday.
Always.
Yes. Melissa, welcome to the show, and thank you for spending your morning with us. Tell us more about you and your coaching services.
Well, I appreciate the invitation. Thank you for having me. And I'm just excited to be able to share with others the journey that I've been on and where I am today. So my story starts back when I was a high school teacher, leaving that to be a golf course owner. Now I help coach people on their life and their businesses, because it's one of those things that being able to take my own experience and support other people has just been a true passion of mine. Even goes back when I was younger and wanted to, be a teacher and wanted to be an entrepreneur and wanted to, love to be in front of people. It all came together. So my vision has played out very nicely. So now I'm a speaker, author, trainer, and coach, helping those ambitious, career-driven individuals to set bigger goals, to call in more opportunities, and to finally reach the goals that they've been putting back on the burner.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And what C.A.T.S is all about, supporting each other, supporting all those coaches, authors, thought leaders, and speakers like you. So we love it when we have people like you. It seemed like you've been in business for a while, is to tell us a little bit about how you started. I know we got to the part of where you started, but why and how you help people, because I read your rap sheets before I get on with you, and it looks like you do a lot of personal transformation, and then I guess that's flowing over into the business. So tell me how you work.
Yeah, so I am a firm believer that breadcrumbs are there for you if you pay attention. And it really isn't something you always can make by design. I mean, we have intentions, but sometimes we got to be open to something better. And so that was kind of my philosophy, is if I can have this or something better, then I'm willing to show up and do the work. So as I was working with individuals on the golf course, because that's where it really started, my company was Find Your Own Drive. And there's an ebook that you'll be able to have access to for free as a download. But it was showing me how women were showing up on the golf course was how they were probably showing up in life, and how they were treating that little white ball was probably how they were treating themselves or others. And so having worked with my own coaches prior to that, and having been at the high school teaching high school students, all of this, like, wow, I see so clearly how the number one issue is we get in our own way and we don't know how to get out of our way. And so that's where the individuals helped me, as I coach them, really develop this understanding deeper, to where I could take it into allowing it to transform where they might be. They started using conscious language as one of my big teaching skills that I have individuals pay attention to, and really getting a clear vision. And then from there, it was like, well, gosh, if I can change this in my life, if I can learn to play golf or hit the golf ball further, what else could I do for myself? And so the balance wheel of, your relationships, your career, your finances, your spirituality, all of that comes together. And my philosophy now is your life is your business and your business is your life. And so allowing that to be the foundational piece, people want that in all areas. I want it in my business. I want it in my relationships. And so I've just taken the lead and said, let's do it.
Wow. So you've got a lot of experience with, it sounds like, girls, high school girls, and with older women or women on the golf course. And so you've got what I would consider a really long runway of experiences with women. And I know you said they get in their own way, but what do you see out there in the world right now that is we'll say a hurdle that we as women need to get over, get through, get to the other side, so that we can actually have our power in our life and in our business? What do you say to that?
Well, it's probably a word that we've heard and we just kind of discard it, but it's that confidence piece.
Yes.
It's that piece that regardless of what anyone says, it doesn't matter. You have to step into your own power.
Mhm.
And I try to help my clients understand if nothing is good, bad, right, or wrong, if those words do not exist,
Mhm.
what would you do differently? And that can pull you back in and go, well, if it's not bad or wrong and it's not good, you know, like it really gives your brain an opportunity to say, well, then I would do everything. I would do what I wanted to do. I wouldn't be afraid to start the business. I wouldn't be afraid to quit the job. I wouldn't be afraid to do speaking engagements. Like it's because there's no judgment in what you're doing. And that to me is where the confidence comes from. It's when you can let go of the naysayers or the critics that are in your life. And sometimes we got to prune them out because they're too loud.
Mhm.
It's finding, and like I said, confidence is, you know, just a common word, but there's deeper meaning to it. And standing up and going, you know what? I get one go around in this lifetime, as far as I know. So this time I'm going to play big and I'm going to allow my soul, my heart to lead versus what comes in to my understanding of how I'm supposed to be versus how I desire to be.
Mm. Wow. And boy, do we need that.
Mm.
So we love at C.A.T.S sharing our philosophies, but also some great nuggets of wisdom. And I'm curious what advice you would give to women out there to build confidence, something they can do today. All right. Something small, something big, whatever, it's something they can do today and build. What kind of advice would you give?
So the first one I learned from Oprah, when she woke up every morning, she realizes I'm still here. I still have work to do.
Mhm.
And she's in gratitude and says, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I
Mhm.
started that practice a long time ago when I first heard that. And what I help others to understand is if you're waking up every day, you still have purpose. You still have work to do.
Yeah.
Nobody cares why you get out of bed, really.
Mhm.
You've got to
Mhm.
care first. So when you start there and feel that in your system of, wow, what do I get to do today? And
Mhm.
live that day fully, that's when you start understanding the connection of you and source and
Mhm.
the other players in your game, because we're the creator. Everybody else is the player in our game. I always talk about Donkey Kong. You know, you get through that first level, you're still going to be challenged and you're still going to have things that you're going to have to overcome. But if I get a chance to get to that next level, you bet your butt I'm going to get to that next level. So it's just empowering that. And the accountability is the best resource to help anyone get that confidence, get that conscious language, get that vision, because without accountability, we shrink back. We fall back into those old patterns and habits. And then those limiting beliefs sneak in. And then we're like, yeah, why bother? Let me turn on the TV and get a bag of chips.
Yeah. That TV and bag of chips. Wow. So let's talk balance. All right. So now you have a woman who's building her confidence. So she's added something onto the schedule, let's say.
Okay.
How do you balance? Because now here's another thing is I imagine that your clients, they have a shift to putting themselves first. And we as women are not accustomed to that. We're caregivers in whatever aspect of our lives. How do you suggest we balance? Now we've shifted now, hey, I come first because if I'm not, if mama's not happy, no one's happy. So how do you advise us on organization once we put ourselves first?
I love that question. And that's probably the hardest thing of anything, right? We can have the ideal, but organization is always the thing that we fall short on because we've never worked a plan or a schedule like this before. It's all new information. So just like when you were learning to walk as a baby, you fell down multiple times and nobody said, get up, you little dummy, you know how to walk. It was, you had to just consistently give yourself that encouragement, that inner knowingness that you can walk. And so that's where we start with a reference, a frame of mind, the things that you did that you thought were going to be hard, that you would never figure out. Driving a car, that's another one, right? Like we didn't know how that was going to turn out, but we figured it out. We might have had some wrecks along the way or bumpers, but it's all good in the sense of if I can do that, if I was able to do those things, then I can do this. I can do hard things. I've done my hardest things already. So it really is more of that language, more of what you're telling yourself. And taking bold risk or bold moves is where most people shy away from. And the sooner you can do something like that, whether it's run a marathon or walk a 5K, or in my case, just leaving a marriage after 35 years, like I needed to expand my wings. I felt it. I needed to go to college at 30 because I needed more than what I was getting from the situation I was in. I bought golf courses because that seemed like the next thing to do. And then I learned to play golf and teach other women about the game of golf. So it all was that internal drive. The external stuff was great, money, recognition, all of that. But the internal was, my heart felt it so strong. And that's part of drive. The R is to receive it at the heart space. So no one's going to tell you otherwise. You learn to walk. You got those driver's license. You work a job. You have a relationship. Like you've done the things. And it wasn't always easy, but you found within, you desired it more than any excuse could set you back.
All right, we only have a few minutes, but I really want to hear what your big picture is. Either tell me what your big picture is, or what is the big picture you see for women that have now claimed their power?
Women, you have got to get up and stand up and be very proud in who you are and who you've become. You're always going to be changing. You're always going to be doing and experiencing new things in life. But once you hold on to it, find that motivational music that gets you going in the morning, get that coach or mentor that's going to keep you shining, and make sure that you do not go to bed at night without feeling like I had a good day. And tomorrow, if I wake up, I'm going to do it again.
With gratitude.
With gratitude, yes.
To you and Oprah.
Yeah.
How do we find you, Melissa?
You can find me on my website, Melissa Kirkpatrick Coaching. Everything that you need to know with the free downloads, book of calls, training, all the things are right there. So Melissa Kirkpatrick Coaching.com.
Wow. Thank you so much for all of your sharing and your vision for all of us women and coaches, authors, thought leaders, and speakers. We so appreciate you being with us here today on the Big Meow.
Yay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Much love.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.